my felicitation properly. For me, it was an honor to be part of these commemorative events devoted to the great victory.
It was a busy morning at the UN General Assembly in New York, where leaders from around the world gathered to discuss urgent global issues. Ibrahim Traoré, the young president of Burkina Faso, took the stage with a calm and firm presence. He wasn't just an emerging African leader. He had become a symbol of resistance and self-sufficiency for a continent historically marked by external dependence. With a quiet yet determined voice, Traoré began his speech, introducing a transformative initiative for Burkina Faso. He spoke about Africa's reliance on foreign aid and questioned whether these aid programs were genuinely freeing the continent or simply perpetuating dependency. His country was launching the Rice for All program, aimed at producing rice to feed Africa and even export it to neighboring West African countries, reducing the need for food aid from organizations like U.S.C. The room fell silent as many delegates exchanged surprised looks. Some applauded, while others seemed uncomfortable with the bold statement. Traoré emphasized that the initiative was not just about agriculture, but about autonomy and dignity. "We want Africa to feed Africa," he declared, stressing that true transformation comes when African countries take control of their destinies. Trump, who watched the speech from afar, was visibly surprised. He called a meeting with his advisor, questioning how Traoré could challenge the decades of influence the U.S. had on African countries. Despite his skepticism, Trump became intrigued by the audacity of the young president's initiative. International media quickly began to report on Traoré's speech, with political analysts debating whether the Rice for All program could succeed or was simply idealistic rhetoric. Many critics, especially from the international development community, questioned the economic viability of the project. However, Traoré remained firm, confident that it was a necessary step to free Africa from external aid dependency. In press conferences, he addressed critics with calm determination, emphasizing that his country was already seeing positive results from community farms and that they were not asking for permission to build their future. As the Rice for All program gained momentum, African leaders rallied behind Traoré's vision, seeing it as a beacon of hope and a model for self-sufficiency. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, who had previously dismissed the program, became more wary as the initiative began to show tangible results. In his efforts to retain U.S. influence over Africa, Trump announced that the U.S. would increase its investment in food aid and infrastructure programs. But many African leaders, inspired by Traoré, saw this as more of the same. They rallied behind the idea that Africa should take control of its food security. Traoré's initiative quickly expanded into neighboring countries such as Mali, Niger, and Ivory Coast. His vision for regional cooperation and agricultural self-sufficiency was realized through a network of cooperatives and sustainable farming practices. The program began creating jobs, strengthening local economies, and providing opportunities for young people who had previously been unemployed or migrated abroad for better conditions. Trump, still skeptical, decided to visit Burkina Faso personally. During his visit, he was impressed by the efficiency of the program, but uncomfortable with the idea that an African country could achieve so much without U.S. help. Traoré, however, remained steadfast in his belief that Africa must create its own solution, and he assured Trump that the goal was not to replace anyone, but to empower Africa to help itself. The impact of the program continued to grow, attracting international attention and praise. Humanitarian and environmental organizations lauded it as a model of sustainable development. Even some of Traoré's earlier critics began to recognize the positive effects. During a live interview, Trump admitted, "I have to admit this guy's doing something impressive," acknowledging that it was possible to create local solutions to global problems. 5 years into the Rice for All program, Traoré celebrated its success with a ceremony attended by farmers, community leaders, and international representatives. He praised the program's ability to transform lives and community. "These are not just numbers," he said. "These are transformed lives and dreams fulfilled." As the program continued to expand, more African countries were inspired to launch similar initiatives, proving that Africa could thrive independently of foreign aid. Traoré's success had also shifted the narrative about Africa on the international stage. Donald Trump, now recognizing the importance of Traoré's leadership, sent a letter acknowledging his achievements. The letter, widely publicized, symbolized a new chapter in U.S.-Africa relations. Traoré's impact was far-reaching, showing the world that when leaders focus on creating solutions for their people, they can change the world for the better. With the Rice for All program, he had not only transformed Burkina Faso, but had sparked a movement that could help redefine Africa's future.